Doddagaddavalli is a village located in the Belur taluk of the Hassan District of Karnataka. From Hassan city, it is at a distance of about 20 kilometers, and from Bangalore, it is approximately 200 kilometers away. This village was founded during the rule of the Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana by a merchant couple, Kulhana Rahuta and his wife Sahaja Devi. The village was then known as Doddagaddavalli. The wealthy trader couple built a temple for goddess Lakshmi here in 1113 AD. They were inspired by the Lakshmi temple at Kolhapur, Maharashtra. Because of this reason, Doddagaddavalli was also known as Abhinava Kolhapura, meaning the new Kolhapur. Doddagaddavalli name was slowly corrupted to Gaddavalli, and later a prefix Dodda was added, meaning bigger, to differentiate it from another village, Chikka Gaddavalli, located nearby. This is the floor plan of the temple. It is the only Hoysala temple with a Chatuskuta plan having 4 shrines. The 4 shrines were for Lakshmi, Kali, Vishnu and Shiva. Apart from this, on the northeast corner there was a smaller independent shrine for Bhairava and 4 corner shrines which contained unknown deities. In total there were 9 shrines and 9 towers. All of these 9 towers, including the 4 in the corners, originally had the Hoysala crest of Salah slaying the lion. The temple is built within a court measuring 118 into 112 feet and is enclosed by stone walls. The Prakara wall is 7 feet high and has 2 Mahadwaras or entrance gates, one on the east and one on the west. On the east, which is the entry gate now closed, there is an ornamental doorway with Gajalakshmi on the lintel. It had a porch previously, but that has now disappeared. The steps here went down to the tank. On the west, the entry gate has a large porch or mandapa. There are stone seats for visitors and its railings are plain. The ceiling of this porch has 9 panels with Tandaveshwara in the middle and the Ashtadikpalakas, guardians of the 8 directions, around this. Most of these panels are now eroded. The lintel of this western gateway has an eroded Ganesha relief. Once you enter the court, you can see the huge temple complex in the middle. The temple has been built on level with the ground without any raised platform. The basement of the outer wall has 6 moldings. Above this basement, the wall has single or double pilasters topped by miniature towers. The towers above the single pilasters have on top decorative toranas coming out of the mouth of the Simhalalatas, these lion faces. Between the double pilasters, there are niches. There are no sculptures in these niches. The only sculpture you will see on the external wall of this temple is outside the east wall of the Kali shrine, where there is a Kali figure carved. Out of the 9 towers of this temple, 8 of them have a stepped pyramidal design of the Kadamba Nagara type with no special ornamentation. Only the tower on top of the Lakshmi shrine has been given a special treatment. It is a Dvitala Vimana topped by square shikara and a stone kalasha. It has two tiers of small towered shrines rising one above the other. The turrets of this tower have Kirtimukha carvings enclosing floral design or yaksha figures. All the 9 towers are capped by a stone kalasha with beaded designs. All the 9 towers also have a Sukhanasi or a nose projection on top of which there is a Hoysala crest. There are 2 entrances to the Navaranga. The east entrance on the back is now kept closed. The west one has 2 Dwarapala figures carved on either side standing on a pedestal with lion carvings. The hall inside is oblong and has 2 Navarangas of 9 Ankanas each. Both the Navarangas have 4 central pillars and the 2 sections open into each other freely without any partition wall. The walls of the Navaranga have pierced windows allowing light to enter the hall. The ceiling of the Navaranga on the side of the Kali temple has a male dancing figure playing a veena, which is probably Veerabhadra. The ceiling panel next to it on the north has flying Kapali with sword in one hand and a bowl in the other. In the Navaranga on the other side, the central ceiling is eroded, but around it, the 8 panels have Ashtadikpalaka figures. In the north, there is the Kali shrine. Just in front of the Kali shrine, there are 2 huge naked Betala figures measuring around 6.5 feet in height. They have a skeletal physique and prominent genitals. They are shown wearing large earrings, have protruding eyes, and the mouth is shown with fangs and tongue sticking out. The Betala on the left has its hands broken, and there are other goblins carved below it. The one on the right is holding a sword in its right hand and has a severed head of a bearded man and a bowl in its left hand. Even though this temple is dedicated to Lakshmi, the Kali shrine takes an important place in this temple. The doorway of the Kali shrine has Mohini figures dancing on either sides. The lintel of the doorway has the face of Kali with fangs and goblins on either sides. The Kali idol is placed on a pedestal on which there is a carving of a goblin seated on a pot drum around which there is a snake curled. Kali is seated in Sukhasana on the prostrate body of a Rakshasa. She has fangs protruding from the corners of her mouth. She wears Jata Mukuta and Sarpa Kundala. On the Prabhavali of the idol, there are goblins shown with swords or playing musical instruments. She has 8 hands that are shown holding sword, mace, trident, arrow, drum, pasha, bow, and bowl. The east shrine has Lakshmi. The doorway of the Lakshmi shrine has Tandaveshwara on the lintel. Lakshmi idol is about 3 feet in height and stands on a small pedestal having lotus on its face. The goddess is shown standing in Samabhanga pose and has attendants on each side. In her 4 hands, she is holding Shankha, Chakra, Rosary, and Gada with Phala. The idol does not have any Torana. It may have been influenced by the idol of Lakshmi in Kolhapur Mahalakshmi temple. The west shrine is for Shiva, represented by a linga. The linga in this cell was known as Bhutanatha in inscriptions, and popularly people knew it as Virupaksha. The south cell was for Vishnu, but this idol is now lost. We can make out that it was for Vishnu from the Garuda pedestal that remains in that shrine. After the Vishnu idol was lost, a small Bhairava image is now kept there. The lintel of this shrine has Yoga Narasimha. On the northeast side of the temple complex, there is an independent shrine for Bhairava. The doorways of this shrine have ornamental frames. In the lintel of the vestibule, there is a carving of Dakshinamurti seated in Yogasana. The Garbhagriha door jambs of this shrine have some interesting carvings. On the right, there is a Mohini, and on the left, there is Dakshinamurti. On the outer right, a man is tearing his own abdomen and drawing out his bowels. On the outer left, a man is shown treading on the head of a fallen man and cutting his own throat with a sword. The Garbhagriha lintel has Kali face. In the sanctum, there is a pedestal with a dog carved on the face. Dog is the Vahana of Bhairava. The Bhairava idol inside is now missing. There are 4 shrines in the corners of the temple complex. They originally contained deities about which we have no idea now. One of these corner shrines has lost its Sala crest, but the others have retained it.